We're live.
We're live.
I think I don't know if they heard about the honey.
Oh,
Yeah, this is our patrons can see us, so they can hear our nonsense while we set stuff up here. I think we're ready to go.
all right.
Hey everyone, my name is Marcos. This is wait, let's take that back a second. Hey everyone, this is the Barcast. My name is Marcos. I can be a bit of a prude, and I am here with
Bearded Rob, a little bit rude.
and I think we actually got the sound down this time where it's not sounding like shit. Like it's actually coming from the microphone this time,
Excellent.
which is
Well, we are here at Breeze's very first
Yes.
game day.
it is. It's week 0
Yes.
of college football.
Yes.
Yeah, and football, how they say in
Two different sports,
yeah,
man.
but soccer's starting as well.
It's
isn't
been
it?
going,
Oh, it's
but
going?
yeah, I think.
I don't know. I'm not a sports guy, so. But yeah, Breeze is now opening up a little bit earlier.
Just
9 a.m. versus 3
Yeah.
on Saturdays.
Just a little early,
So
6
right
hours.
now, if you are not watching live, it is actually 5 minutes till noon. So, and we are already getting started on a Saturday. But a lot of stuff has happened since we last sat down. Primaries happened. So lots of people lost, lots of people won. Very exciting.
And
time.
very few people voted.
Oh, God, that is so fucking it really is just disappointing.
Well,
It is sad.
one of the things that's bizarre, and you have to think about this, is that midterms, right? Always low voter turnout anyway.
Yeah,
But this time has been exceptionally low.
yeah. Specifically here in Osceola County, we had a 17% voter turnout, which
Yeah.
is just fucking bananas. I have it written down here. We have 250,999 registered voters in this county.
Yeah.
Give or take a few, because who knows? Somebody probably registered yesterday. Out of 250,000 people, only 400 or 44,200 and change voted.
Yep.
And then we have the fucking balls to complain. People bitch and moan about everything. You see it on Facebook all the time, but then nobody actually does the one fucking thing that they could actually do. They don't fucking do it.
Well, so we need to discuss that. Why is it that people didn't show up? Why?
I think it's a plethora of things. One, uninspiring candidates,
Very much so.
uninspiring, and that's because right now you have federal elections, but a lot of them, well, yeah, like the Val Demings ones, that's a federal election that's
Yeah.
going to November. But here in Florida, like the Democratic primary for governor, those are the two fucking work. Charlie Crist and Nikki Fried. It's two wet blankets that you have up there. Not only that they're both trying to pound their chest and be I'm the anti-Trump guy, but they're boring.
Well, you have a situation with Charlie Crist, who you don't know really what he is. He doesn't know what he is. You know, it's hard to tell really where he stands. He still maintains his anti-choice stance that, you know, abortion is horrible, blah 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 blah. But now all of a sudden, because he's went from being our Republican governor to an independent candidate to now a Democratic Senate, you know, he's been on every end of the spectrum. And
I'm surprised he still has a registered libertarian.
all of us, who knows, that's next. But, you know, you guys are probably the only people that would have him.
We don't want him, trust me.
Right.
The Charlie Crist, we don't like the Charlie Crist.
I mean, I don't really necessarily have a problem with the concept that the guy said at one point in his time that I'm not a Republican. I just can't be part of this. I don't really have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with the fact that he says now he's a Democrat. That doesn't bother me. I don't care about that.
Yeah, people are allowed to evolve, change.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think that he's just really hard to tell what's real and what isn't with him.
That's my issue with him.
I don't know how I
he's
feel
talking,
about him.
but you don't trust him. I don't trust him.
He's very superficial.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
he doesn't come across as real.
Yes.
Nikki Fried, okay, she's the only elected Democrat in the state offices of the state of Florida. Secretary of Agriculture,
Yeah.
right? But where in the spectrum does she really fall? She's out. You know, she's been hand in hand with Matt Gaetz a couple of times, you know, not necessarily with his crap that's going on, and she's kept her distance since all of that came up. But in the past, you know, I don't
My
really
thing
know
is-
what to think about
My
it.
thing is that I find them both just completely uninspiring. They don't like. I'll listen to either of them speak, and none of them make me actually want to. Again,
Neither one of them are Lawton
Yeah.
Childs.
yeah, they don't.
Neither
make,
one
yeah.
of them are the guy that you're going to put your shoes on and go walk down the street with him when he walks the state of Florida, right? Neither one of them are a people person. You know?
Charlie Chris is he for me at least. He's somewhat of a. He looks like a nice guy. He looks like someone I can chill with, but it's not somebody that I would go out of my way to chill with. At the same time, I find them to just both boring. Both of them are boring, and they have a. Charlie Chris has a complete uphill battle against DeSantis. Because say what you will about DeSantis, we are one of the few states that are actually doing well post COVID.
Yeah.
During and post COVID, one of the few because all these other California is still trying to recover. New York is still trying to recover. Massachusetts is still trying to recover. We closed down for what 3 months or something, which
Not
it-
even.
which kind of pisses me off that DeSantis keeps saying that he was the anti-closing down person when we did close down for about a few months.
Yeah, I mean, everybody did, but
Yeah.
whatever. The issue is that we're looking for this magical candidate that can maybe beat DeSantis, right? Maybe you can beat DeSantis. That's the whole thing, right?
I just find that out of the pool of people that the Democrats have, this is the best that they could pull.
Well, but again, I mean, look at who the Republicans put up there. Ron DeSantis, the guy who reads a Donald Trump bedtime story to his daughter as his campaign slogan before, or his media ad was, and now the two of them can't even stand each other, right?
Yeah, but even just talking about these candidates, I'm bored because they're all uninspiring.
Well, and
it
there's
goes down. It's straight down the ticket too. It's not only just the governor stuff.
Well,
because locally, we didn't have much to really.
You didn't care who was running for dog catcher?
Not really.
Okay.
It's
well, but and again, that's the big thing in these local elections. Who knows who to vote for judge? If you're not part of the legal system, you have no idea who these people are.
Yeah, like me.
And there's very little. I mean, even if you go online and try to research who these people are, there's not a whole lot there that you can find.
No, and the thing is that people don't know what to like. For example, we know what to look for. When I look for a judge, I want a judge that's going to make my life easier. That's going to make the process easier. That isn't going to create a bureaucratic mess. If you tell me that you are going to make sure that you have availability for hearings and that you are going to get orders out quickly, you're my judge. If you are like some of these judges, there's specifically one, I believe, in Seminole County that literally you go on the judicial calendaring system and she has no time. You cannot find hearing time with her.
Wow.
If you're one of those judges, then I would rather you not even get close to a fucking black robe.
Yeah.
Because you make my life harder.
Well, but this is part of it, right? How many people really care about whether a judge has hearing time or not? Does it really affect us in any way, shape, or form?
No, until you need to fucking find
Not
it.
unless you've got a case pending,
Yeah.
right? And how many people actually, what in the grand scheme of everything, how many people actually go to court?
Very little.
Yeah.
Like right now, my caseload is about almost 90.
Okay.
So I have about 90 individuals that are across Central Florida looking for hearing time for different issues.
And the reality of it is that in what you do, pretty much everything is already worked out before you ever have a hearing.
Exactly.
You're all settled.
We're required to go to mediation, so you try to settle everything before you go to a hearing and all that stuff. So
you all went and sat by the fire and sang Kumbaya and hold hands.
Oh God, I wish it was that easy in family law. Family law, it's literally you go into a room and you just yell at each other until somebody says, "Okay, I give up." Outside.
Yell and scream. It's like, look, I don't want to fight anymore.
But yeah, no, I guess
going back the house.
Going back to the voter turnout thing. Besides uninspiring candidates, I do still think it's, and I've.
How many people really believe that their vote matters anymore?
Not very many.
And honestly, let's think about this, right? We had a president who didn't win the popular vote. Okay. We've got a past president who claims I have the most votes ever. Well, yeah, except for one person, the guy who beat you, right? Yeah.
But even like that's the electoral college issue. That's one issue. But locally, your vote technically does still matter a little bit more because it is based on popular
Yeah,
vote.
absolutely.
But
But
here,
who's running and who do you know?
exactly here,
The
these
one
people don't get out.
the one campaign that really is, there are two campaigns that are of real interest, right? The governor, because that's a big deal, and Val Demings and fucking Rubio.
Mhm.
All right. And Marco Rubio, let's be honest, dude doesn't go to work. He has the worst turnout
Attendance.
to vote of anybody in the Senate. And he has for the entire time he's been there. You
Marco,
don't go to work. If you don't go to work, you don't have a job.
how I look at it, if they don't go to, if all of them just stopped going to work, there would be less legislation passed. So perfect.
Well,
But my issue with Marco specifically is one, I don't like red flag laws. I think we discussed this earlier, the whole issue with red flag laws. And what was the version of Baker acting that you were talking about?
well, no, North Carolina and Florida deal with that issue differently.
Baker acting.
And that, yeah, in Florida we call it a Baker Act because it comes from state versus Baker, but Baker Act. And this is when you have somebody who is mentally unstable, who is believed to be a danger to themselves or others. In Florida, it requires a mental health professional or two police officers. You and I, regular citizens, we can't get the process started without them.
Yeah.
We can go to somebody, but we need to go to somebody first to get the process started. In North Carolina, I just found out anybody can get the process started. And oh, by the way, if I say, hey, Marcos is out there, and he threatened to kill himself, no matter what, they're keeping you for 3 days. If I don't say you're trying to kill yourself, I just say you're acting crazy. You might be hurt. You might want to hurt yourself, or maybe you're going to hurt somebody else. I don't know. He's really freaking crazy. They're going to go, they'll take you in, they keep you for a while, they make a determination within 24 hours. So the turnaround is faster.
Yeah.
Because here in Florida, it's 3 days no matter what, and maybe longer if they find out you have issues. But, can you think about how many divorces come to, my ex-wife threatened to kill herself.
Take that bitch to the loony bin.
There you go, right? Wow. Gives me a chance to go back through the house and gather everything that I need to, or, whatever. Yep. It's just there. I do see good and bad in that. I do see some good in the fact that I don't have to go to anybody else. I can just call 911 and say, hey,
this person wants to kill themselves.
Not even necessarily that, but, there's a person out here. I don't know who they are, but they're acting crazy. And, somebody will come. Okay, that's probably a good thing. But
no, I guess
the potential for abuse is there.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, and that's kind of what we were talking about when I brought up the red flag laws and Marco Rubio, that Marco Rubio has actually supported red flag laws. And as a Republican, somebody that's supposed to be gung-ho for guns, it kind of creates a similar situation where if you're going through a divorce, let's say, because that's somehow the example that gets brought up a lot, and your husband has guns and you just want to fuck with him, you just have to tell someone that he's a danger to himself or others. Boom, they'll pick up his guns, and now he has to wait for the whole process to possibly get them back.
Yeah.
And it just creates, again, that issue of abuse, people abusing this system that's built to
it's there people for a reason.
Yeah.
But there is potential for abuse. And if instead of arguing about whether we should have this law or not have this law, we argued about how to prevent the abuse, maybe we'd be better off.
Oh no, why talk about that? You'll actually fix a problem.
Like, imagine that we could fix a problem. Yeah. Well, and that's the American way, right? There's no money in the cure.
No.
There's only money in treatment.
And that applies to basically everything.
Yeah.
Apparently. Because we see the issue with the homelessness, we see the issue with housing, we see the issue with traffic, with almost everything.
Sure.
And you have people that will come out and say, yes, I'm going to fix the X, Y, and Z issue. And they will put Band-Aids all over it, but they will never actually get to the underlying issue that's causing that the need for that band-aid in the first place.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that it's a hell of a way to stay elected, because if you never fix the problem, you always have something to run on.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as there's a perception that you're actually trying to do something.
Exactly.
If there's and this is where Marco Rubio, I think, suffers, is there's a perception with him that he's not really trying to do anything because he's never there to vote.
Yeah. And if you're, I just don't understand.
He's never there to vote. And let's be very, very honest. His story about who he is
an immigrant.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
Came from the struggle.
Okay, look, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Are his parents Cuban immigrants? Yes, they are. Is he a first-generation American? Absolutely, yes, he is. Did he grow up in Little Havana? No. The family house is actually in Coral Gables.
Ooh,
it's on the border of Little Havana and Coral Gables. Did he come from a humble house? Well, his humble house appraised for $600,000. This was
but that's now.
No, this was back when he was running originally. Okay? How many people in South Florida have a 2-story house?
None that I know
It's
of.
not a very common thing. Why? Because tropical storms destroy the second story. Most people don't have the money to build a second story. Even very, very wealthy people have spread out 1-floor houses, right?
Yeah, all
That's
the houses
common.
look like the Golden Girls' house.
Yeah, but guess what? Marco Rubio's humble family home is a 2-story house in Coral Gables.
But that's because I believe he's an attorney?
Well, he is, yes, but his dad, the person who bought this house, supposedly, according to Marco Rubio, because Marco Rubio tells you he's the son of a bartender. No, you're the son of a club owner.
Okay, but here's the thing. So, to give him a little bit of credit, his parents did come here from Cuba.
Absolutely. His
and
parents
they built something.
His parents came and built a life.
Yes.
Marco Rubio had nothing to do with building that life.
Yeah, but he still we can say that he came from humble roots because he was a child when all this happened.
Yeah, but he was not a disadvantaged poor kid like he wants you to think he is.
I wouldn't be able to speak on that. I don't know. I don't know Marco. I'm just looking at it from my perspective. Like, my parents are doing well off now, but I would have to say that I'm kind of in the same thing where I never actually had to struggle because my parents were the ones struggling.
Exactly. This is the point, though. This is the point.
But
he wants you to believe that his life has been a struggle. His parents' life was a struggle he never wanted for anything. You know? And let's be very, very honest. Running for office in Miami, as a Cuban immigrant, as a first-generation American, you're not at a disadvantage.
No.
You're not.
Well, what was his first office that he ran for? Do you know?
Don't know for sure. He was at state. He was in the state legislature.
He's been a senator since I can remember.
Well, he ran for Senate.
Wasn't it in the late 2000s?
Yeah. No, he was either the second term of Bush, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, and quite honestly, when he won, his acceptance speech was inspiring. It was amazing. It was beautiful. This idea that we're going to cross the party lines, we're going to work to, do. But he has done none of that.
So basically, the same bullshit that everyone else.
Absolutely, but he's done none of that. None of that. And
it's all bullshit.
But the fact is, he never shows up for work.
No, and I think so. Going to the acceptance speech, I think this kind of ties into the whole voter turnout. People are finally getting wise to all the bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
Let's quote George Carlin, as I like to do. It's all bullshit, and it's bad for you. And it's bad for you.
Yeah, all these people come out and they do their speeches, and I don't care whether it's local, whether it's city, county, state, federal. They come out, they do these speeches. That before you had the soapbox speeches where they inspired people. Now people are getting wise that it is fucking bullshit.
Well, think about this. You have people running local campaigns on the fact that Trump won that election. What the fuck does that have to do with your position?
Nothing. No, I love it when local candidates talk about shit that they have zero control over. I'm running for city of, I don't know, XYZ, city of bumfuck nowhere. I'm going to stand up to abortion people. Motherfucker, you're running for a local city council. You have zero control over
Yeah.
abortion. Shut the fuck up.
The guy who's running for city seat 2 in Christmas, Florida, right?
I'm going to make
And
sure your
he's-
student loans are paid.
Great. Yeah. Great. Dude, come on. It's not your issue. That's not your issue. Your issue is whether or not garbage gets picked up on Tuesday.
Yeah. Whether a stoplight is properly timed, whether the dog catcher has enough funding so that there's not a bunch of strays all over the street. Shut the fuck up about all this other bullshit.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter and nobody cares and people aren't fucking stupid.
Yep. Well, and here's how out of touch the whole issue is, right? Let's look at how out of touch this is. The U.S. Supreme Court just voted or, made their ruling that, Roe v. Wade runs afoul of the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Really horrific decision. And if you read the decision, it's really not well written. It's quite pathetic, and they take some serious mental leaps. Be that as it may, look at the way the majority of America looks at this. The majority of America says, not my circus, not my monkey. It's not my fault. It's not my issue. This is your issue. You fix you, I'll fix me.
Yeah.
Okay. On that particular thing. It bothers me beyond belief that Republicans even are discussing it because they're the people of little government. Keep government out of my life until it involves a woman's body.
Well, we kind of talked
I'm
about
not a
this earlier.
scientist. I'm not a scientist. I don't know about climate change. I'm not a scientist, but I am a gynecologist.
And we did talk about something similar earlier, and this is going to be way off track.
But this,
The
sorry.
Mar-a-Lago stuff. Go
Well,
ahead.
yeah, but this is really what it comes down to is these things that they argue about their campaigns really are well settled in the minds of most Americans. We don't care about your argument.
Yeah.
Fix the shit that bothers us. Fix my rent. Fix the fact that I can't qualify for a mortgage. Fix the fact that I have to work 6 jobs in order to pay my bills.
Let's be honest, or let me be honest. That is the issue that most people have, or those are the issues that most people have. They take issue with their day-to-day lives, right?
Yeah.
But when they participate in the political system, voters do not act that way. Voters act as though this is a fucking game of sport or sports game and want to take fucking side. They don't care about these specific issues. They don't fucking
Well,
care.
they lose sight of them because they get sucked into it.
It's all about hating the other side.
They're sucked into it.
They could give a shit about whether their rent is high, whether their groceries are high, whether gasoline is $6 a gallon. Once they fucking get tunnel vision and they're like, fuck the other side. I don't care what happens. I hate Republicans or I hate Democrats or I hate whatever is on
Well,
the
this
other side.
all
I'm gonna be team red or team blue no matter who.
it all
It
goes
is-
back to Newt Gingrich. Yeah, it does. Absolutely. When Newt Gingrich ran for president, he ran telling people that God wants him to be president. No, he did. This is true. And when he did that, he said, if you're on my side, you're on the side of God. If you're on their side, you're not.
Yeah.
So what? I mean, come on. I mean, it's an all or nothing. It became an all or nothing proposition.
But I think that this specific sentiment is, I want to say, fairly new in that it's kind of started with the whole Trump, when Trump first ran.
No.
Yes, we've always hated each other. Republicans have
I
always
hate
hated
you,
Democrats. I love you, Rob. But the animosity towards each other has, I want to say significantly grown compared to like the 90s. In the 90s, Democrats and Republicans could sit together and actually talk. You had the whole New Deal with Newt specifically Newt Gingrich and Bill Clinton. Was it the Contract with America and all that bullshit. You had people working together and discussing these topics and actually listening to each other. Now, unlike then, I feel like it's more of a I hate you not because of your arguments. I hate you as an individual, as a
Well,
person, because of your
well,
banner.
yeah, but what happened? What Newt did when he did this scorched earth political policy, right? Where you're either with me and God
With
or
me or
you're
against me.
against me and God, right? It's all started to grow from there and grow and grow and grow. The fact that Trump happened was inevitable. You could see somebody like him coming. You knew this was going to happen. You know, eventually it comes to this point where you have this overly charismatic person that says the trigger words
Mhm.
that one side or the other was going to totally buy into. And it could have happened the other way, right? It could have been somebody who came from the left saying that we're going to give everything back to the people. We're going to, it could have been the whole other direction. Just the way everything was happening is that it was much easier to incite this fever within a strong law and order fight against the people coming across the border because jobs are disappearing.
Mhm.
Jobs are disappearing, so we could blame it on somebody, right?
Yeah.
Let's blame it on immigrant. Well, it's not them, right? I'm sorry, your job that you lost or whatever is not because somebody came across the border to pick vegetables and fruit.
They took our jobs. I just think about South Park.
Yeah. They're not taking your job, dude. They're not. They're taking a job that nobody else can or will
Yeah.
do.
No, and
They're taking a job that, quite frankly, we need them to do.
I just feel that we demagogue people. Is that the word? I don't think that's the word.
No.
We idolize, put them on a pedestal,
Mhm.
and it becomes not necessarily an issue about party politics, but ideologues. That's what the word is.
Well, but here's the biggest problem. The person that this particular group worships has no ideology.
Well, okay. So each party has their national conventions,
Mhm.
right? And each party each year sits down and their delegation I don't know how the Republicans and Democrats do it. The Libertarians, we kind of just all get together and all Libertarians.
That's because there's six of you.
Hey, we can fill up a room. Relax. We all sit down and we go through our bylaws, our constitutions, and all of our governing documents, and our platform and all that stuff, and we tweak and adjust it so that it could better fit our principles. The Republicans and Democrats do something similar. I'm 100% sure that you can ask almost any Republican or Democrat, where do you, not what's in it, where do you find the platform of your party? And they won't be able to tell you.
Yeah.
They won't be, let alone tell you what's fucking in the goddamn thing. Because when you register with a party, what you're doing is saying that you agree with the platforms and bylaws and planks of that party.
Or are you saying that I typically tend to agree more with those issues?
Yes.
I tend to agree more with those issues.
But the thing is that
and I live in a state to where if I don't register one or the other, I can't vote in a primary.
That's fucking bullshit. No. So yeah, physically you can't vote in the primary if you're not part of a party. But the problem is that the vast majority of people, they always say this, and it pisses me off. Well, you have to be part of a party so that you can vote in the primary, blah, 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 blah. You have to join one of the big two. And the thing is that the vast majority of people, the way that they vote doesn't match how the actual candidate is chosen.
Mhm.
Like, for example, Democrats have the super delegate. So guess what?
Well, that's an annoying thing
It's
as
fucking
well.
stupid.
And that's one of the reasons that I think people don't show up to vote anymore
Because
is because you have a lot of people who think this super delegate thing, why am I voting? You're just going to
choose whoever the fuck
you're
you
going to
want.
choose who you want
And
anyway.
the thing is that if you look at how people are selected, the vast majority of the time, it's not 50% plus one. It's always some minuscule amount of people to choose a specific candidate. Because, for example, if I were to register one of the big two, I would more than likely be a Democrat. But the problem is that I would be a Tulsi Gabbard Democrat. Tulsi Gabbard in the Democratic Party has zero fucking chance of ever getting past the primary in a presidential election. So why am I going to be part of that party when our ideas match in some points, but I have zero chance of ever getting my ideas anywhere.
Well, in some regards, that's a good thing because, dude, your ideas suck. But no, I'm sorry. But no. It's the reality is that people feel distanced from the
Unheard.
process.
Yes, completely unheard, completely disregarded, and it comes from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter.
What-
Right now, we locally we had one of the commission seats, Jackie and Cheryl's seat.
Okay.
Jackie is the commissioner right now with less than 50% of the vote.
Yep.
With less than 50% of the vote, which pisses me off because that says that the minority has chosen this specific person to rule over the majority of people.
Yes and no. But I think what they need to do and I like this. I think that the rule needs to be that you need to have 50 plus a fraction. 50 plus a fraction
Yes.
in order to win. And when you have three or more candidates and somebody does not get 50%, nobody gets 50%, you take the top two and you have a runoff.
Or you can just have ranked choice voting.
Yes and no.
Ranked choice voting is the same thing. It just simplifies the process. You choose
Does
1,
it?
2, 3,
Yeah.
and rather than having a runoff where you have to go again to vote and probably have an even lower turnout, it's already done. It's the process is done automatically.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
But
Because because I think that there's I don't want to cast a vote where either you or you gets the opportunity to have my vote. Period.
well,
My ranked choice is all of it for you and none for the rest of you fuckers. Right?
you could do that. So the
no.
thing is that if you do,
But what happens with the votes that go to the people that don't get enough? In most of these ranked voting, the winner gets all the extra ones.
no,
That's what happens.
No, because let's say, for example, in Cheryl's race, and let me preface this by saying that I like Cheryl.
Mm-hmm.
I like her as a person. I think she's very nice. I've sat down with her and the wife plenty of times.
Yeah.
Let's say I vote Carlos Irizarry, right? He's my first choice, and then my second choice is Cheryl, and then my third choice is Jackie, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's say Carlos Irizarry does not win, or he's the bottom. He gets how he did now. He's third place out of the three. Those votes then get recounted. All of the first votes for Carlos, and then it goes to my second choice, which was Cheryl. So my vote now goes to Cheryl.
In your perfect world, but guess what? This is run by these political parties that have their own goddamn rules that are designed to get somebody in fucking office.
You're right.
So the best way to do this, the only way to do this is everybody, you go and you vote, and the highest vote getter gets 42%, right?
Runoff.
Sorry, take the top two. We all go vote again.
I just feel like that's
the only way that works.
It's a lot more direct and less bureaucratic, but it's
the only way where your vote fucking
counts,
matters.
yes.
No
But the thing
matter
is
what.
that
Nobody can say you didn't get those votes.
voter apathy is real.
Oh, absolutely.
And fucking voters are. This set of voters is, again, I get annoyed because this set of voters is the most irresponsible group of butt fucks on the planet. How can you only have 17% voter turnout? It's fucking sad. It's sad. Those people that did not vote should be ashamed of themselves.
One is it fair to put the blame all on the voter that didn't go?
Yes.
No, it's not.
So easy though.
But they don't
You have mail.
care.
They have mail voting. They have early voting for 2 weeks. Then you have election day. They fucking put it on a goddamn platter for you.
Where we live right now, where you and I live, voting is super easy. I've never lived anywhere where it's so easy to vote. Never. I walked down there. I was the only one there. It took me 5 minutes. I walked in. I said hello, right? Blah, 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 whatever. But there's so many people that say, you know what? It's a waste of my time because they're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I work from this time to this time. I'd have to take time off. I have to do this. I have to do
Mail-in
that.
ballots.
Oh, I have to give up my Saturday to drive down there and go with, but
They have mail ballots, though.
Okay.
I vote by mail. You
Okay.
literally sit down at your house whatever time you want, fill it in, put it in the mail, and just ship it off. They send it
But-
to you so early that
Yeah.
you have like weeks to actually.
and
research
mine
and
never
everything.
came.
Yours never came.
My mail-in never came.
What? Wow.
No, I never got it.
Did you check because you have to every time you?
I
register, you have
did
to
when I
renew it?
went to vote. They said, "Oh, it says here that you got a mail-in ballot." I said, "It never came." They said, "Well, when it comes, just tear it up."
That's suspect.
It never came.
See, those are the kind of things that I'm just like, maybe there is a small chance of voter issues, but whatever.
But mine never came. Big deal. I
Yeah.
wasn't waiting for my mail-in ballot. Whatever. I don't
But-
care. It's not a big deal
Rob,
for me.
Rob, I have an issue.
You do.
I have an issue.
You do.
Hey, people are yelling at us that we need drinks. Yes. Are they gonna get it? Yes. Okay. I love it here.
It's a wonderful
I guess
place.
they heard us complain. Damn. Guys, Breeze Whiskey Lounge, 7 Dakin Avenue, come through. Oh, we didn't even mention they have fucking breakfast.
I did. I said
You
this.
said that?
Yeah.
I had fucking biscuits and gravy, and that was the chunkiest gravy I've
with
ever
the
had.
most sausage in the gravy
Yes.
you've ever had.
That was
And
fucking
mind
delicious.
you, it's not like regular biscuits and gravy where it's like kind of bland.
no, this was fucking chef's kiss.
This was on point.
Chef's fucking
On
kiss.
point.
Is Francis walking over here now?
He will be.
Yes.
Francis can kill it.
Yeah, Francis.
Put Francis behind a pot. He can kill it.
Oh yeah, I can't wait till they start the Gorilla Parrilla, Guerrilla Parrilla.
Okay.
So apparently now that they're opening early on Saturdays, today was the first day that they did that breakfast thing, and it was something simple. He did biscuits and gravy, which was
It
more
was
than
cool.
enough.
It was very cool.
But they're gonna start doing things like breakfast tacos,
Mhm.
which is gonna be exciting.
Well, and here's the other thing. Soon, and very soon, one of the things that came up today is there was no coffee with breakfast.
yes, but it's a work in progress.
Well, but soon you will be able to sample Native Roots coffee when you come to Breeze for breakfast. Thank you.
and that's Francis. Say, wait, the camera's over there. There you go. Hey, where's mine? Okay, he's coming with it. But yeah, soon we'll be able to have Native Roots Coffee, one of
Mhm.
our sponsors, at Breeze Whiskey Lounge. This is gonna
Very
be
cool.
awesome. I
It's
am
all good
excited for
stuff.
that.
It's all good
I'm
stuff.
very excited for that.
I am too.
But we are still going to take a quick break so I
All
can
right.
stretch my legs. And well, not only that we need to have a break so that I can put the sponsorship later on, all that kind of stuff. You guys know all the background shit. But yeah, we will be back in a few minutes. Just a tad bit hungover. Not much. I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm alive. And we are back.
In black.
Yes, I am at least. Well, brown.
Beige.
Yeah, so we got our beers. I played a level of Super Mario Brothers with Blaine at the bar because we have a Switch now too. I don't know where all these fucking upgrades are coming from. Like all of a sudden, Breeze is like turning. I don't like it. I don't like change. I don't like my dive bar turning into a bougie place.
Yeah.
I need
Well,
to
it's
keep
only
my
a
dive
bougie
bar.
place if the people are bougie.
Very good point. So we just need trashy people
Yeah. As long as it's the same motherfuckers that come every time, we're still.
because we have a patio now. They had
Yeah.
funk music outside. They had a whole ass band.
That's
last
what I
night.
heard.
It
That's
was
what I heard.
crazy.
I
It's
stayed home.
little soft opening.
Nice.
They don't have any tables out there yet, but they're working on it.
Looks good out there, though.
It's gorgeous. It's amazing. I'm excited to
Looks
see
good.
the finished product. But guess what?
Yes.
I have about $10,600 worth of student loans, and it's about to drop to possibly zero, depending. I can't remember if I qualified for Pell Grants or not.
Okay.
So my student loans will be paid.
Cool.
Did I ask for it? No. I was okay paying my student loans. I was not in default or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to say no to a free handout.
Oh, sure.
Now, that being said, there's a lot of people still complaining about it.
Yeah.
And I would say rightfully so. The math doesn't necessarily completely add up. What?
What?
You give me a weird face.
Oh, no, because what I'm hearing is a bunch of people who are like, I didn't go to college. Why do I have to pay for your college education? Idiot. You're not.
Well, not even those
Forgiven. It's gone. Nobody's paying for it. They're
people.
gone.
That's not. Come on, Rob.
They're gone.
They're gone, but that money comes from somewhere.
No. Gone. Gone.
So it is a government debt. Most of them. The vast majority of them. It's the federal government. They gave you a loan. It does disappear.
No, the government did not give you a loan. The government guaranteed the loan.
So if the loan is to a private, wait, I have these numbers. Only 7.6 are private loans. 7.6% are private loans. The rest of them are government subsidized loans.
Government subsidized loans. The government was the guarantor of the loan.
So they have to pay those loans. So they don't disappear. Someone's paying for them. And according to Republicans, because this is where Republicans are actually good at their job when they want to talk about money.
No, they're not.
Sometimes, depending. If it's to their friends, then they're not. Like if it's to give corn subsidies, they fucking suck. Corn and soybean subsidies, they fucking love those suckers. But on this, they kind of did the math, and we would kind of, I don't want to say take it with a grain of salt because I think it is right. Once you take away the loans, it puts the burden on all individual taxpayers, and the math shows that it's about $8,000 per taxpayer. Or was it eight or eight? Yeah, but I think it was $8,000 per taxpayer.
If you do the math and you look at the number of people who went to college versus the number of people who didn't, the number of people who took out loans, there's no possible way that it's $8,000 per taxpayer.
Or I don't have the
no possible way.
Hold up. Let me see my notes here. 28,000, excuse me.
No possible way.
Oh, an average per. Oh no. Actually, no, that's per borrower. So
Per borrower.
Per borrower.
Not per taxpayer.
per tax. I have to get back on you on that.
Yeah, spread that out a
yeah.
bit, and now you're going to find out that it's probably something like
Less. You think
way
it's
less.
So,
The burden is minimal.
but the thing is,
You're not complaining about the $3 trillion that the fucking Pentagon lost. You don't complain about the too big to fail banks.
I agree.
You don't complain about the fact that 57% of our annual budget as a government goes to the military.
I agree.
You don't complain about the right things. This is
I agree.
not the amount of money that we're talking about is not
1.7
significant.
trillion.
It's not that much.
It's 1.7 trillion. According to Forbes, it's 1.7 trillion in total student loans.
Total student loans.
And then it's about $28,000 owed on average per person
Okay.
that has loans.
Well, this is the next part that I wanted to talk about. We're only forgiving $10,000 per person.
$10,000 per person unless they qualify
Unless,
for Pell
yeah.
Grants, in
Yeah.
which case it's 20,000.
Yeah.
So I believe that I qualify for the 20,000.
Okay.
I only have so.
What about the rest of
so
us
here's
that
the
are
thing.
my age that are already out of the
That's the thing. People that already paid their loans. What
Or-
happens to them? They just
or
get fucked.
the people who already paid them or who already were forced to default?
Well, in default, that doesn't mean that the loan goes away. So I'm assuming that that gets forgiven, even if it's in default.
Who knows? But what is 10 grand? I mean, legit, what is 10 grand? My student loan for studying for the bar alone, the Bell grant, right? Or the Bell loan, right? That alone was 5,000. And that was just for studying for the bar exam.
So that was an actual going to class.
Yeah.
Okay. No, so I am. Oh, we are getting notifications. Oh shit! People are listening and writing shit to us.
Oh, that's cool.
This is fucking awesome. No, so I'm actually one of the fortunate ones. I was able to work while going to school. So I never accrued more than about $20,000 in student loans. And the student loans, honestly, I really didn't need them. I wish that I had the knowledge that I have now, because I wouldn't have taken them. Because the thing is that I could have, students, if you're watching, just because it's a 4-year degree doesn't mean it has to be limited to 4 years. You can last as long as you want to get this 4-year degree. Take your time, try to avoid loans. Had I known that little thing right there, I would have just stretched out my college career a little bit longer to be able to afford it and not need student loans. Not only that I was irresponsible with those student loans, because at that time, as a 20-some-year-old, 21, 22-year-old student, I just saw money. I was not thinking about the future. Hey, I'm going to eventually have to pay this back. I just remember signing up for the Pell Grant, getting the Pell Grant, and then them in the little form they give you, do you want these are the other loans you qualify for, and literally all you have to do to get this money, check a box. You check all 4 boxes and it tells you whether it's subsidized or unsubsidized. You check, obviously you want the subsidized loans if you're going to take one. I would take the subsidized loans, and all of a sudden overnight I had 10 grand in my bank account.
I don't even remember any of that.
I had 10 grand in my bank account, and what the fuck is a dumbass 21-year-old gonna do? Well, I went and bought myself a brand new laptop. Didn't need one. The one I had was working perfectly fine. Bought myself an iPad. The one I had was perfectly fine. I didn't need one. Bought my books and shit because you need that. But then again, that's another fucking scam. Those fucking $300 books, fucking scammers. For a book that the professor that's teaching the class wrote it, and it's fucking binded by those 1990s little black binding things.
The wire binder.
Yeah, it's fucking a scam. $300 for that. It's a fucking scam. But what's a 21-year-old that has no concept of money to do? He just fucking spends it all, not considering or not taking into account that in the future you're going to have to pay this money back.
You know what's weird though is that I recall applying for student loans or and financing for school, and being told that I couldn't get that much. I recall that. Maybe that was different back then. I mean, I did go to school probably before you were born.
So
when were you born, by the way?
When I was born?
Yeah.
That's a disrespectful question, Rob.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how
you
young
don't ask
really
a lady
are.
their age, okay?
No, I'm trying to figure out how young of a woman you really are.
I am 33. I was born December of 1988.
Really?
It's the year of.
So I was halfway through my undergrad by the time you were born. Okay.
Yeah, you're an old ass man.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but we're getting in some comments right now. Michael Layla says, going back to the election stuff, did not vote for local elections 5 to 10 years ago. Was too busy working with 4 children, spare time, homework, family time, going to their events, which includes a lot of volunteering.
Uh-huh.
So that's understandable.
I get that. I get that.
So here's the thing. I don't know how voting was 5-10 years ago. Was it the same as now?
No.
I don't think we had mail voting then.
Mail-in. Well, you could always apply for it. You could always get a mail-in ballot if you requested.
10 years ago?
Yeah, it's been around for a long time. A lot. Military people have always voted by mail.
Yes.
Elderly people have voted by mail for a long time. We've been voting by mail for a long time. So this idea that these people, oh, it's not safe. It's not. We've been doing it forever. Chilled out.
Yeah.
Okay. But what happens is that when you feel like your life is got so much going on, and these people don't draw you to the
You're
the
not
poll,
incentivized.
there's no incentive to go. I mean, so dude,
Yeah, like-
I respect that.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
understand.
you
I
got
get
4
it.
kids. You got a whole
Get
bunch of
it.
stuff, and the people that are on the ballot don't
It wasn't a priority.
give you a reason. Yeah, they
and
don't
even
give you a
well,
reason.
and even back then, there was this concept that my vote doesn't really matter.
No, and again, it does locally. Your vote does. This is, I have to emphasize this. Locally, your vote counts 4 times as much as it does at the federal level, federal or even state level.
I don't know if we can quantify it as 4 times, but it definitely.
That's a number I'm throwing up, but
It
it does
counts.
counts more because at the local level, when you're looking at your city commission seats, your county commission seats, your soil and water boards, those tend to have far lower turnout.
Again, because who knows what are
Who
you
knows these
really
people? Yeah.
voting for? What does the soil and water guide do?
So in Osceola County, it's actually an educational board. They have
Uh-huh.
no ad valorem power, so they can't collect money. Well,
Uh-huh.
they can't collect tax dollars. They can do fundraisers and shit like that to get money. But other than that, they're just an educational board that tries to teach people about soil and water.
Yeah, okay. So really, why do I want to vote for you? What makes you better
So-
than the other person?
There is a push to get rid of soil and water
Uh-huh.
boards because they're irrelevant and stupid. And I agree with you. Soil and water boards are fucking just stepping stones for candidates to do other things. Daisy Morales is a perfect example. Daisy Morales, she was a soil and water board, I think, in Orange County for a few years, and now she's a fucking state senator.
Okay.
She's so Daisy Morales is worse than Marco Rubio when it comes to attendance. So bad that her own Democratic colleagues, she's a Democrat. Democratic colleagues are like actively pushing people against her to get rid of her because she's so fucking bad at not showing up.
No,
Not
my
to mention
opinion-
all of her.
My opinion remains the same. If you don't go to work, you shouldn't have a job. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't
Not-
care who you are.
not to mention all of her other issues with financing and basically amending lying on her finance reports when she's worth who knows how much money and just saying that she's worth little. But going back to our comments, Michael also said that my son is still paying on his loans,
Huh.
still owes $9,000. It through AES. I doubt that it qualifies for loan forgiveness. I don't know what AES is.
I'm not familiar.
No, I've never heard of AES. I don't know if that's a private loan or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually read into that because
Got to look into it
Yeah.
for him. No problem. We'll come back with an answer.
yeah, I'm gonna look into AES. I've never heard of that. Or I'll
Yep.
probably just sit down. It's probably an acronym for I don't know
Something.
educational student, whatever, blah blah blah.
Service.
But yeah, let's drive back and go back to the student loan thing. Like you mentioned, I really do think that.
Thanks for commenting, though, dude.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate
you, Michael. We love you. Michael's actually one. Ooh, I almost fucking forgot. I am so irresponsible. I'm so sorry, guys. We have some new patrons. Woo! Fucking love you guys. You guys are fucking awesome. Again, as always, your patronage does not pay for our drinks. It pays for all of this other equipment that you see around you. And we're getting better. I'm praying that the audio is good this time.
We got stuff.
Yeah, we have stuff. So I want to thank Michael Layla, obviously, Joseph Bladek, Ariel Vitini, and George Rodriguez. You guys are fucking awesome. Thank you.
Groovy. Thanks, fellas.
And if you want to hear your name, we just got fucking moved. That sexual violence. Yes. We were just moved.
That's awesome.
You God, I just saw somebody's ass. You guys are always more than welcome to come and hang out with us. We don't mind. You can sit out in the audience with everyone else, the Mooners included, and just chill with us. Hear us talk.
Mooners, not Moonies.
Moonies, Mooners,
Moonies were a cult.
Moonets, Monet. Ha.
No, the Moonies, they were a cult. Never mind.
Moonies?
You don't get it. You're too young, I guess.
Obviously, the closest to that I can get is Goonies, and that's just the
No, you
movie
don't know
about.
about the Mooney cult?
No,
Yeah, Korean from Korea.
nope.
Mass
IDK.
weddings.
Um, yeah, I'm still in shock. We just got mooned.
Get over it.
I'm not used to seeing just like pale white ass.
Oh well,
It's
okay.
very no ass. No, wait, let me clarify.
Well, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. You got defensive for no reason. You got defensive for no reason. I didn't even say anything about how much ass you actually see, how much male ass you look at.
We're reaching our about an hour mark. We love you
Peace
too.
out, man.
We're reaching about our hour mark, so I think this is a good time to call it.
All right.
Yeah. Again, thank you to our patrons. Obviously, follow us on Facebook at the Barcast. Find us on Patreon at the Barcast as well. Your money goes to making the show better.
Better. Better.
Better. I'm hoping that eventually we can have like a whole ass setup rather than a half ass setup.
Okay, here he is again with ass. He can't get it out of his mind.
But yeah, we're growing. I think we're doing very well. I like the upscale mobility.
Yeah.
So we're getting better. We have lights. I'm hoping to eventually get umbrella lights so that because these are kind of harsh. Like if I'm looking at it and we both look very pink
Okay.
because it's so just in your face. And these are on the lowest settings right now. So I'm hoping to get some like umbrella lights to like give it like a studio look.
Okay.
Maybe get some more frames of all of our beautiful locals up here. Because there were frames, but I think they broke.
Yeah, I think people stole them too.
I don't know why. Why would you want to steal pictures of other people?
Why did you steal the picture of Backup Bob?
Yeah. Oh no, it's behind you.
Oh, it is.
It's actually
Okay.
yeah.
All
Backup Bob is there. That's Backup Bob, guys. For those that he recently passed away.
Yeah.
Giving props to Backup Bob. We should get a picture of David up here too. But yeah, Backup Bob used to be our local police officer.
Sort of.
He's coolest guy ever. He would just essentially walk around with what?
Coolest guy ever.
You never met him in person? Like, have
I've
you ever
met-
sat down and spoken to him?
I have spoken to Backup Bob. I don't know if cool would be the.
I thought he was hilarious.
I don't know if cool is the adjective I would use.
He was a little cuckoo bananas, but he was
little.
pretty.
A little? Dude thought he was a police officer and he was holding up people at the bus stop with his orange gun.
That's what made him awesome. He would yell at people for he would yell at people for stopping their cars on the crosswalk.
Yes.
Like he would go ham on people.
Mm-hmm.
He used to walk. Do you remember his pet alligator?
No.
He used to walk around with this little wooden alligator. It's one of those children's toys with the rope that as you like wheel it around, it shakes. So he would walk around with his pet alligator. And he always had the little cool bike, the tricycle bike.
Well, he had that, but he also had the little rascal, the
Rascal.
mobility scooter
Oh yeah.
that had sheriff's department on the back.
Yep, sheriff's department. He always used to wear like if you see that picture, he has a hat that says SWAT on it. He was a police officer.
He had a vest too.
Yeah,
He had
no. Well, so he KPD incentivized his bad behavior.
Exactly.
Because I love the guys at KPD because they would see Bob and they would give him like old stuff.
Yeah.
So like this man had like a legitimate uniform,
Yeah.
like an
And
actual.
I saw him
uniform.
handcuff somebody once.
Yeah. He had. I don't think those were real handcuffs. I don't
No,
think the police
but
would give
they
him
were
real
not
handcuffs.
real, but still.
He would carry. He had a holster with like a little wooden gun in it.
No, he had a little orange plastic gun.
Yep. No, orange. Before it was just like a wood gun.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like one of those you know the cork guns with the rope.
Yeah.
It used to look like that without the cork.
You know, he advanced. To
Yeah,
the
he
orange
got
plastic. one.
Yeah, he upgraded. So to the little safety guns that they use in demonstrations.
Yeah.
Oh, but we've gone on a tangent. Guys, thank you. Join the Patreon. Keep tuning in. Check us out. Obviously, leave us comments. We love your comments. That way we can continue to make the show better and know what you guys want to fucking listen to. Because we love talking.
Absolutely.
But if you guys don't want to listen to us talk about fucking student loans and low voter turnout, let us know what you want us to talk about. Well, we're down to change the topic up. Obviously, we control the show. So Don't get any ideas unless you're a patron. Then you can kind of tell us what to do to an extent.
No, come on. We would probably listen to pretty much anybody.
We'll listen.
Somebody gave us an idea that was worth. Yeah, we'll talk.
We'll
about
listen.
It. Yeah,
I'll listen.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we have to do anything. It is our show.
Yeah. Yeah.
See? And now, if you become an executive producer, then you can tell me what the fuck to do. You need me to bend over backwards? You need me to show my ass? I will do it because you're paying me. What's your price, Rob?
Everyone has a price.
Exactly.
don't
Mine's
know-
$100 a month.
I don't know what my price is, but I know there is one out there. I won't deny it.
Yeah. But guys, we love you. We will check you out later.